I'm not dependent on punch power, you know. You know, it takes a lot more than that to be a great fighter. A lot more than that to be a great fighter. So there's various ways I'll win. But I got the fighter spirit, and that's how I'll go in there and break him down with my spirit.
After this.
But he can't, though. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's not even equipped to fight this dude. He's not. It's going to have to be a bunch of stuff in there. Joshua will punish this man.
It's impossible for somebody like Anthony Joshua, who is so big and so strong, to even think he's going to take it easy. Because even if he tries to take it easy, he's so powerful, so strong that even those punches that are being easy are still going to hurt.
Jake Paul thinks he can beat Anthony Joshua, but he's dead wrong. Joshua isn't playing this fight as money, power, and pain all in one. Even if it's called an exhibition, Joshua will dominate every second. Paul is stepping into the ring with a real monster, and one mistake could end it all. Watch closely. This fight will shock the world at the press conference. Anthony Joshua warned Jake Paul, saying he's being unrealistic if he thinks he can beat him. Joshua made it clear he's taking this fight mainly for money. It's a business move. But inside the ring, he's still far superior. And Paul is in for a tough challenge.
I deliver what I was supposed to deliver years ago. I deliver what they ran from. I deliver what he asked for $50 million for. I'm gonna give him a $50 million knockout.
I honestly listen to what people say sometimes. They're avoided, this person's running. I honestly think some people are deluded. Really, I do think that they've got some sort of a long-term concussion, because no one's running. In terms of 50 million, I'm a businessman. If there was 50 million on the table.
Chris Algerie explains this fight is perfect for Joshua's comeback. After a break, following his last loss, Joshua can rebuild his confidence and get back his rhythm. The fight offers big money while keeping risks low, almost like a controlled sparring session, financially, mentally, and physically. Joshua stands to gain a lot from this matchup.
What are we talking here? Like, it's going to be an exhibition? No, it's a fight. You're a heavyweight. You're calling out heavyweights. You're calling out a heavyweight. You're calling out Anthony Joshua, former world champion. You're calling him out on short notice. It's a fight. You're going to wear 10-ounce gloves and you're going to fight 10 rounds, and that's what it is. I don't understand any idea of anything else. Oh, it's going to be 8-2s? Is it going to be 15-ounce gloves? What the hell are we doing? This is boxing. You want to fight a real guy? You're fighting a real guy, which I am very respectful, and I respect the hell out of Jake Paul if he does step in the ring with Anthony Joshua, no matter what happens. Kid's got balls of steel, and I applaud you.
Well, the reason I say we don't know yet, because Jake Paul has fought in his last fight with Gervonta Davis was going to be an exhibition. They had to do that because of the weight difference. This is still a weight difference here. I mean, Anthony
No, there's not. No, it's not. It's heavyweight. It's the same weight class.
Well, what do you consider Jake Paul? Cruiserweight or a heavyweight?
Heavyweight. How much did he weigh his last fight?
He's fought a cruiserweight. He's also fought a heavyweight. Against Tyson was a heavyweight.
What was his last fight? He's a cruiser. He's a heavyweight.
What was
he
his
was
last
two.
fight?
It was
his last fight was a cruiser against Chavez. Whatever, you know what I mean? Like the reason Gervonta Davis fight.
He fought Chavez after Tyson. I guess Tyson was that long ago. Wow.
That was a year ago. This week, I was looking at my Instagram memories. I was in Dallas, Texas, getting ready for me pooping my pants on Netflix. That was about a year ago. Exhibition. These are questions that are asked. These are questions that are attached.
Promoter Eddie Hearn says, Joshua is interested in fighting Jake Paul, but warns it requires caution. Paul has a history of canceling or delaying fights, which makes planning tricky. Joshua's team stays ready for sudden changes while training hard. Hearn adds that if Paul really commits, it could be one of Joshua's biggest paydays. But they must balance excitement with careful planning to protect Joshua's career.
Jake Paul news seemed to come to a surprise for many. How close are we to making that fight, Eddie?
Not that close. I mean, there are conversations. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But if he's serious about the fight, and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
Is it on Netflix, and what did DAZN have to say of the fact that it might?
One of the hurdles to overcome. But we were going to have an 8-round run out in December. Just so happens it might be against Jake Paul.
Have you spoke to Nikisa? I know you're not friends with him. What are the conversations you've had?
That's who we're talking about, you know. And if they're serious, And if it's real, there's a good chance. But listen, we could wake up tomorrow and he's announced another opponent and he just used AJ's name for clout. Listen, I have to respect him if he takes the fight, but who knows?
What do you think Dana White will make of this fight?
I mean, he did Mayweather against McGregor. He doesn't like Jake Paul. I really couldn't care less what he thinks about the fight. AJ's going to make close to or around a career high payday, and we'll take every.
Analysts like Paulie Malagi and Ryan Garcia stress that Joshua will take the fight seriously, even if it's labeled an exhibition. He has never underestimated any opponent. Joshua's skill, timing, and strength mean he can punish mistakes and control the fight. Even if he eases off, his natural power still makes him extremely dangerous. Paul must be smart and resilient, because any lapse could cost him.
Bag now. And if you listen to this, it's definitely out of the bag.
Yeah, Fight for 84, big boxing movie that's hitting Netflix soon about the Olympic 84 team starring Jamie Foxx and Chris Algieri.
I am not starring in anything, but whatever. Yeah, no, I got a credit. I'm in it. I got some lines. So
That's amazing. That is so cool. I mean, this couldn't get any cooler. You're now in the movie, which is absolutely absurd.
yeah,
What a day.
Hopefully,
What a life.
Hopefully, maybe there'll be more of this. Who knows?
I think it's just the beginning. I think this podcast is numbered. Our days are numbered.
No way.
Let's
I'm
go to Hollywood.
never letting this go, Dan. This is. I'm a ride or die.
I hope you get so big and become such a big actor that you are like delaying production because you have to film our podcast in your trailer.
Chris is in his trailer. Wait, he's got to finish his podcast with Dan.
They're like, who's Dan? Johnny Drama style.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, just
When he was on the set for
total
5
diva.
pounds.
Just total diva in every way possible.
Yes. Like we said, this episode's brought to you by ppv.com. December 6th, we're going to see Pitbull Cruz versus Lamont Roach. And guess what? We're going to talk to Lamont Roach on this episode. I caught up with Lamont and to get his thoughts on the fight with Pitbull, to get his thoughts on Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua, which we're going to get to in a second, to get his thoughts on 140, potentially fighting at 135. That's coming up in just a little bit with Lamont Roach. Don't forget to order that fight with us at ppv.com and all the good stuff that comes along with that. That's December 6th. Lamont Roach is an awesome interview. Great guy.
Awesome guy. Forget the interview. He's just a good dude. I told you to tell him what's up. You probably didn't.
He said,
but-
what's up? He goes, where is he? I said, he's on a movie set. He goes, oh yeah, he's got those movie star looks.
See, that's what I get. But yeah, no, he's a good dude. We see him. He trains down in Florida now. He's over at the Pro Box TV training facility. So we get to see him down there training. He's whipping on all the guys over there. But good people, good dude. Good. His dad's awesome. His brother Jordan's great. He's another one to look out for. I think is he a flyweight? I think he's a flyweight coming up, or a bantamweight. But yeah, great family, good boxing family, great boxing heritage.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that mega card. Big card December 6th, and he's the headliner. So we're going to get to him in a second. Some big news broke. Shocking news. According to Ring Magazine, Anthony Joshua is going to step in for Gervonta Davis and fight Jake Paul. We don't know yet if it's an exhibition. We don't know yet the rules set. We don't know the date. These are preliminary talks that are ongoing. Yes, I work for MVP.
Dave Allen says Joshua shouldn't avoid this fight just because it seems unconventional. He's in peak shape, still fast, strong, and skilled. Fans may see this as just entertainment, but Joshua can dominate any opponent. The fight demands respect, focus, and acknowledgement of Joshua's elite boxing abilities. Jake Paul is stepping into a serious challenge.
Some of it was probably shouldn't be licensed, but Florida are very kind of easy commission to get. Yeah, it'd be called an exhibition.
It will be an exhibition.
It probably would be called an exhibition.
What's the point?
For me, as long as that fight you mentioned just now, Spencer, as long as that roadmap is there and it's signed that he fights an interim guy as a warm-up afterwards and fights Tyson Fury next year and Fury's on board, I'm great with it. Otherwise, I do think his legacy's damaged if his last fight is with Jake Paul.
An exhibition is just a waste of time. They're for retired fighters. For retired fighters, it's a load of rubbish.
Yeah, listen, the guy's still in his athletic prime. I personally don't see the reason why they can't just do the Tyson Fury fight. Why do we need interims?
Well, we all want that.
Yeah, but why do we need interims? Why do we need warm-ups? We're talking about two experienced guys who've been the best, as you just said, of the last 10, 20 years. Let's get the fight on.
It's as ridiculous as Gervonta Davis going in with him, basically, isn't it, with Jake Paul,
Quite
frankly?
so different mindsets. And what, again, listening to Eddie today and what he was saying, the damage that Anthony Joshua suffered mentally, not physically, because physically he's still all there, but mentally against Daniel Dubois, he needs to go through that process again. And they said, and that's just the whole getting your hands wrapped up, doing it, whether it's Jake Paul, whether it's a top 100 fighter, you go, that's the way Anthony Joshua ticks. He needs that before going into the... All roads lead to Fury, right? We all know that. Whether Fury...
Analysts point out that unlike past fights against older or retired boxers, Jake Paul now faces an active, world-class opponent. This makes the fight exciting, but also increases the risk for Paul. Joshua's power, skill, and experience are far beyond anything Paul has faced before. Health and safety remain a real concern.
Maybe even bigger than the Mike Tyson fight. It's hard to say, really. Tyson was a big name, but it's going to do numbers regardless because Joshua is a big name, and then people are going to be tuning in to see Jake Paul get knocked out. Right now, Eddie Hearn talks about Jake Paul taking this Joshua fight.
I mean, my estimations of Jake Paul would go through the roof if he signs to fight Anthony Joshua, because I just can't believe in my mind that he would do something like that. I mean, Gervonta was a smart one because of his size. Like, you know, I think actually he would have had a lot of success against Jake Paul, but the size is a problem. But this would just be, you know, like if Jake Paul was to take the fight with AJ, you'd really have to maybe carry his balls in a wheelbarrow on the ring walk, you know, because AJ wouldn't mess around in there, you know. So it would be huge, but nothing, you know, to tell you it's close, just a few conversations so far.
Damn right, if Jake Paul takes this fight, he's got some major balls on him. And I know people hate influencer boxing, but come on, he's not fighting an old, retired, past the prime MMA fighter. No, he's fighting a legit boxer who's massive, 6'5", 6'6", jacked, 240, 250 pounds, shredded, power puncher. Do we need to remind ourselves of what Joshua did to Francis Ngannou? Francis Ngannou was coming off a pretty good performance over Tyson Fury. He didn't get the win in that fight, but you could argue that he did actually win that fight. And Ngannou, throughout his entire MMA career, in 4-ounce gloves, very rarely got hit. He could take a punch. He's got a big, fat African head. Big, thick neck, traps, back. He just can't really be hit. And look what Joshua did to Ngannou. Out cold. So what do you think Joshua is going to do to Jake Paul? Jake Paul better start loading up on that Trenbolone. He needs to start eating Anavar like Skittles.
Joshua's credentials as an Olympic gold medalist and former heavyweight champion make him a serious threat. His technical skill, power, and experience set him apart from every opponent Paul has faced. Joshua can read, adjust, and punish with precision. Even small mistakes by Paul could be very costly inside the ring.
Gold medalist, unified champion at the heavyweight division. He is 6'6", 250 pounds. And also, I do think...
Oh, my God.
I do. God. Jake Paul 6'1", and about 220. I want to say this, though. I think Anthony Joshua, he's made stupid money in his career. Dumb money in his career. I don't think he's going to be in a position to be accepting BS terms with Jake Paul if this is really what's going to end up happening. I think we're actually going to get to see Jake Paul against a former heavyweight champion of the world. Do I think that's a smart idea? Absolutely not for Jake Paul. Do I think it would sell? Absolutely. Do I think it'd be very interesting and people would tune in to see if he gets his head knocked off? Absolutely. I genuinely, I hate to say it.
If Jake Paul gets his block knocked off completely,
very possible.
The Jake Paul experiment is over. It's a wrap. Because if you step into the ring, everybody thus far is wondering and has wondered, like, what would happen versus a legitimate boxer?
Yeah.
And in their relative shape. Not a 50-year-old Floyd.
Yeah.
Not a 60-year-old Mike. We've all asked ourselves, well, what happens if you fight a real fighter? The problem is, once you fight a real fighter and you get beat down, the hypothesis is gone. So now we don't need to wait to see the experiment. Y'all know what we do every year. We say the best college team could beat the worst NFL team.
Yeah.
And it's a fun debate.
Yeah.
Because if you don't really know ball, if you don't really know ball though, you'll be like, man, but if 10 players on Georgia would start for the Cleveland Browns right now. But if they actually